Hello ladies, good to be back. I think this is now your, maybe third gift in the run-up to a very exciting event that I'm running in London on the 3rd of March. I'll come back to that a little bit later. But what I wanted to talk this afternoon, which might seem a little bit strange, but you might have heard a lot about journaling, and this is about how to journal your way to jumping off the corporate treadmill for good. So I just want to spend a few minutes with you today. And since I left corporate about 2.5 years ago now, I've really found it incredibly useful as a sort of a daily activity. First thing in the morning, as sort of a daily non-negotiable, if you like. And I've made it sort of part of my self-care routine every day, just to kind of work through what's on my mind, what's coming up, and to think about what I might do a little bit differently. And I know probably when I was in corporate life and when I left corporate, the whole journaling thing is bandied about quite a bit. And, it was like, I can see how it could help, but I really just haven't got time for it at the moment. So I was kind of part of that sort of everyday follower that said, sounds like a great idea in principle with a cup of coffee in the morning, but, I really don't have time for it. But really silly, because those sort of thoughts continued to kind of reverberate around my mind, and they had nowhere to go except to get them down on paper, which I've started to do now. Now, what was a reality for me, I think there was a bit of apprehension, a bit of fear in terms of, oh crikey, if I write something down, excuse me, what might come up? And am I going to like that? But very quickly the penny dropped to say, actually, that's a good thing. And it was really cathartic to get those thoughts out of my mind and to see those thoughts and emotions down on paper. How I like to do it is just a few bullets. That really helps me. I've just done some journaling this afternoon. Other people like to write stories and sort of pages and pages to get thoughts out of their head. So I found it a great way to sort of release sort of mindset sort of shifts and blocks, to generate some creativity in my own mind. This idea of sort of dreaming big without any restrictions. What would I like to do now? And really just shift myself back into alignment and flow, which is really important to kind of keep myself on track. So just checking back in with myself about what do I want to go to do now. And it certainly has enabled me to connect back to my core. And if you've gone on to Rebel Coaching, my Facebook page, it'll make sense when I say to you, it's allowed me to set that inner rebel free that was suppressed for such a long time in corporate world. So what it's helped me to do is, when I've got stuck, helped me to be curious about what's going on in my life and the business, and to celebrate my achievements and my successes. And that sounds very tempting, doesn't it, to actually put some time aside to actually make that happen, to help us actually make us feel good. So maybe if you're still in corporate but looking about leaving, maybe it's something you can think about, just to grab some paper and a pen on your sort of daily commute up to London or wherever you're heading, with a favourite diary, and just to sort of jot down what's going through in your mind. As I said, try and find the time and make it that daily non-negotiable. It's really helped. So have a think about doing that, so you can really explore, challenge and release that sort of inner dialogue that's going on in your mind. And I hazard a guess it's probably around that dilemma with corporate life. Should I stay or should I go? The familiar words of The Clash, if you're nearly as old as me. But have a think about that. That's going to be really helpful for you. And just remember at the core that you are that inner rebel, and that rebel is there that wants to be set free. So shortly, and there'll be in the email that you've picked up this link from, and I've put some questions in there to help you start off your journaling. It's just to say, don't forget, I'm running this fantastic event on the 3rd of March. It is on a Sunday, intentionally so you can create the space to take time out to contemplate your next steps, your break, and to start, as I like to call it, to make that internal shift with sort of any sort of mindset blocks, challenges, issues, to start stepping off the corporate treadmill and really burst that 9 to 5 bubble. So it's really going to tap into any outdated stories you've got, limiting beliefs, and help to kind of shift those mindset blocks as well. So you can begin to step into a new confident reality in terms of what your new normal is going to be, which is full of abundance, full of alignment, and really moving away from the corporate 9 to 5. And you'll be able to go away with some next steps around, how am I now going to make that happen now that I've shifted those blocks. So the information is in the email in terms of the cost. If you're not too sure, by all means PM me and we'll drop on a quick 20-minute discovery call together, because it'd be lovely to hear from you and to see what your challenges are at the moment and what you're working through. And then if you feel comfortable, then please dive in and we can book you a place there and then. So before I go, I just wanted to leave you with some questions, and they're posted in the email to start you off with your journaling. And really don't hold back. You know, that truth is within you, what you want to do in the future. So let, you know, that new normal of you shine. So my top 5 to get you started. Would the real you ... fill in the blank, please stand up. It's like the blankety blank checkbook and pen. So fill in the blank. Would the real, please stand up. Is the real you currently present in your personal and working life now? Yes or no? Are you choosing to play certain roles over what you truly feel they are deep down? So are you choosing to play certain roles over what you truly feel they are deep down? And at your core, who are you in your heart? Who are in your soul? Who do you really want to be? Put the corporate world to one side and think, well, actually, if I'm dreaming big, this is what I would like to be in the future. And my 4th question, dare to dream. If you gave yourself permission to be, do, or have, what would that look like? And then visualize your future self. You know, be curious. You know, what is she like? What is she doing? How is she behaving? How is she different from now? And I added those questions in because they have really helped me a million times over, just to think about where I am now and what I want to do. And just a reminder on that, because I hear you as a fellow soul sister, I left corporate world. It's going on for 2.5 years ago now. I had a very busy job in HR in different large corporates for 23 years. And then I really got to a point where that inner rebel really wanted to come out, really wanted to do something different. So I did retrain. I became a counsellor working with couples and individuals, but I'm also now a coach to be able to work with ladies like you as your partner in crime, to help you with those decisions and choices now to step off the corporate treadmill and really fulfill those entrepreneurial dreams that you have. So really here to support you. I can relate to you. I've kind of walked in your shoes, or not quite the high heels. I was always a kind of a flats kind of girl, but here to support you. So do give me a shout, think about the event, and do enjoy the journaling. As I said, make time for it, and I will speak to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.